Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Hello, Stephanie. How are you doing today?
Hi, Meg.
So we just got finished absolutely cackling. Like I could not catch my breath for a second there because we saw some very funny AI pictures of golden retrievers showing an obese one, a anxious one that is like pancaking on the table with the puppy dog eyes, and then an overly energetic one that has the crazy eyes. And AI did a very good job. They are very like accurate. Um, and they will make you cackle. Maybe
Yes.
you can share the one slide on this post.
Yeah, I
Just
probably
of
will.
just of the gold, like
It's pretty
this
hilarious.
is right. Like it's this, or this. You have the very rare golden that is just kind of mellow. Like I've had some older ones that are just like they just stand there. They're fine. They're none of the three. But anyways,
Yeah.
we're not here to talk about Goldens. We're here to talk about holiday burnout. Because we are
Yeah.
smack dab in the middle of that. We are ramping up. We are recording this. Oh, we never do that. And I feel like other podcasts do. So maybe I'll start it. Maybe I'll do it in the cut in that I add. But either way, we're 2 days away from Thanksgiving right now. So we're like already healthily into the holiday rush time for the grooming industry. However, Stephanie, how are you doing? Because you have some clients that you do, right? But not a
Uh
ton. So you're not really feeling it, are you?
no. It's been nice because actually I would have been taking some clients like, even this week,
Yeah.
but since that now I'm starting my one program next Monday, I was like,
You can come in next week.
push it next week. It's fine.
Well,
Um,
so you're experiencing a different bit of a rush because now this is just the rush to prepare everything before your new program starts.
yeah. Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
definitely feeling that. I'm not getting great sleep, but we're gonna make
Oh, is it
it.
because you're up working late?
uh, I'm up because I'm awake because my brain can't shut
Won't
off.
stop. Yep.
Yeah. It's like, did you
Yep.
do this? Did you do this? Did you do this? Did you do this? I have a list. I have many lists.
So
And
many
like
lists.
uh, like it's gonna be fine. Like
It's gonna be fine.
I've done it before, so like I know how to do it, but like
Right.
I am trying to get it more like all out on paper. Um so like writing out the lesson plans and like adding more slideshows, and like I'm
Right.
actually going to
Right.
sit down and do lessons. So
Well, and
um
just think, once you've done a couple runs, like you're gonna have things completely streamlined. You're
yeah,
gonna have your plan. You're gonna have your procedures. Like
yeah. Just yeah, like
you
you're
gotta
never
learn to
right.
crawl before you learn to walk, before you learn to run.
Yeah, and I'm just like, like learning new things. Like, oh, last time I learned a lot of new things, and I'm like, I gotta try that now this time. So I'm like
Exactly.
preparing those things. And so yeah,
I
I
like
mean,
that. Yeah. So your first run, a seedling, was definitely like the crawl. This is the walk. So when
yeah,
it comes around for the next time, you're
yeah. So
gonna be great.
it's happening. It's just it
It's
and like
happening.
I know that I'm gonna get it all finished.
Right.
Especially because I have John home for 4 days straight,
Ooh,
and we're not going anywhere.
anywhere.
Like,
Nice.
I don't want to leave my property for the rest of the week. And I'm okay with that
Yeah.
because, like, if I don't have all of the other shit to do, like, I can get all this done because it's not that bad. But,
Right.
like, if I had, you know, 80 bajillion fucking Thanksgiving things,
Then
uh,
this would be too much.
yeah, we're doing a friendsgiving kind of thing. John's
Aw.
gonna smoke a turkey, and like we invited a handful of friends. Hopefully they show up. If not, we'll just eat our turkey. Um,
Speaking of turkey, we had a 19-pound cream tabby domestic long hair today that got a lion cut. And it was every bit of, he was a butterball turkey. So we're like, here you go, guys.
He
It's our
weighs about as much as my turkey. There were no small turkeys left.
Yeah.
So I had to get a 19-pound turkey. We normally get like a 12-pound.
Damn, that's a lot of
Yeah.
turkey
I'm going to be eating turkey for the rest of the year.
for the rest of the year. Yes.
But yeah, I haven't gotten to feel all of the burnout, and it's been very nice.
I bet. I would say, well, and honestly, like I haven't felt it either, but that's because I'm working for a cat salon that isn't fully booked yet. So like if people book, people can book up to I think 24 hours before. We use an online booking system. Um, so like there's always space for a cat. So like today was our busiest day with 4 cats.
Oh wow.
Only Beth was grooming today. I was TikTok modding, but um either way. So I'm not really super feeling the rush quite yet, except we are like doing this whole retail part of the salon and having to learn how to pack orders and mail them out and deal with all that kind of stuff.
Oh fun.
Yeah, so I'm doing a lot of working on the business with her,
Yeah.
and in the business. So, anyways, so we're here to talk about holiday burnout, and while Stephanie and I aren't really feeling it this year,
We
we
have.
have definitely experienced it, for sure. And like an extra complicating factor is my birthday is December 20th. So never in the history have I ever been able to take off my birthday. Um, which is
Are you,
fine. Like
are
it's
you
just
gonna
a
take
day for
off your
me.
birthday this year?
No, I'm already committed it to Beth. I mean, I could block it off. She was like, "Are you sure you want to work your birthday?" I was like, "It's a day. Like I would rather make money than just sit at home stressing that I have no money." Um, but yeah, no, it's a Wednesday, so I'll be at the salon. If there are cats, I'll be there. Um, but yeah, no, so either way, we've been there, we've done that. Let's talk a little bit about like some different stressors that happen around this holiday time. Um, First and foremost, like we'll talk about kind of grooming stuff right now. There's no time because everybody wants their pet groomed because they're going to get Christmas pictures or a family's coming into town and oh my God, the cat is stinks. Like, or like Fluffy looks like he's
And of
homeless.
course, no one thinks of this until the last minute.
Yeah, holidays are coming. You probably had your family plans like 6 months in advance. Um, like everyone knows it's coming, but everyone still is just like, oh my God, the cat, the dog. Um, a lot of people do appreciate us, but we come across a lot of those clients that they don't seem to understand we can only do so much. Oh, but he's just a 6 pound Yorkie. Why can't you just squeeze him in? Because, ma'am, your 6 pound Yorkie is harder than the 20 pound Shih Tzu. Thank you. When your slippers are bigger than the dog. um, we can't be with our families nearly as much because a lot of us are people pleasers and we will work extended hours because, I mean, we also like money. We're people pleasers, but we also like money. And we really do want to get everybody in, everyone we physically
Oh,
can, but we're not
I
robots.
literally did it because I just wanted to make people happy.
Yeah.
I give zero shits about money.
That's nice, but not all of
Like,
us can be that way.
yeah. Like I'm like, I just want to be fed and have somewhere to sleep and I'm
Mhm.
happy. And
That
luckily
requires money for me.
I I understand. I am very privileged to not have to worry about it because even if I'm not doing well, we always have my husband and we have
Yeah.
savings.
Yeah.
Um
So
like
you're doing the adulting thing right.
I don't know how we did it, but yeah, I guess so.
That's because you have a money-minded man,
Yeah,
like
which
who
is good because
understands that.
I have zero cares about fucking money. I really I honestly, if I could live my life with just trading goods and services, that would be perfect.
Mhm.
Um
But the bill companies don't take goods and services.
I understand that.
But if you could.
But if I could, if I could, I would live on a commune with all of my friends, and we would all just help each other out.
I would be there. It just cannot be where you live right now. Or I'll
Oh.
be a snowbird communist. That is not the word. That is not the word. I am not a communist. I mean, I would be part of the commune for part of the year. A
Yeah.
snowbird commune participator.
Commune
I'll
member.
just move communes. Like,
Yeah. Just have a few throughout, you know. Um Now I've lost track of what we were talking about.
okay, so we were talking about lack of time because everybody is one, like the expectations of clients,
Mm-hmm.
thinking that, the what's that saying? A lack of planning or poor planning on your part does not constitute an emergency on my part. So I'm sure we have stories. What's a like crazy Karen client story around the holidays that you have?
Oh, so many.
Oh gosh. Well, we have time.
I think the first one that I think of is I was working for a shop very briefly,
Mhm.
where the owner of the shop tend to let people walk all over them.
Ooh.
And it was in a uh high amount of money area.
High cost of living.
Yes, high cost of living area. Um, and those people were very entitled.
Yeah.
And I agreed to work Christmas Eve,
Hmm. Hmm.
which now, like, looking back on it, I'm like, why'd you do that? Like, there's so many things that I just want to smack my old self about. Um, but I I agreed to work half the day on Christmas Eve because I wanted to go afterwards to my family's Christmas thing. Um,
Right.
and it was gonna be like I needed to get I needed to leave at least 2 hours before I had to get to Christmas.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, and uh on top of that, we had a huge snowstorm.
Oh, gross.
And so I was freaking out because the roads were going to be bad. And she
Right.
just kept taking more fucking dogs. And
Oh, you're like, what are you doing?
um and I finally put my foot down. I'm like, I'm fucking leaving after this dog.
Oh,
Um
like you can groom the rest of them.
yeah. Uh but like the owner of the dog
Yeah.
uh like she was supposed to come in for just like a bath and trim up.
Hmm.
And then she came in and wanted like a whole haircut,
Of
and
course.
like I was trying to get it done. Oh, and then she's like, I want it done in like an hour. And
Oh
I
my
was like, fuck you,
God.
lady. Like,
Kindly fuck off.
and it was just like it was probably the most stressful
Yeah.
day I could think of, where I was just like everything, like no one wanted to be there because we already had a
Right.
shitty fucking
Right.
Christmas rush. We're all burnt out. And it was just like
Ah.
this lady was like super rude to us, and just being like
Yeah.
super
Yeah.
bitchy. Just like she didn't like anything about the haircut. And I was like, lady,
Ah.
it's the same thing we've been doing for like 3 years. Like, it's the same
Oh my
exact
God.
thing. Fuck off.
Right. Right.
But like that one is the one that comes to mind the most.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And I don't think I've worked a Christmas Eve since.
Aw, you learned it's just not worth it.
Yep.
Just not worth it. Just have the whole day off. If someone is like, yeah, no, just not worth it. Plus, too, unless you're working for yourself, and obviously you can't trust someone not to just keep saying yes to those like last minute call-ins because I don't know, I feel like my ideal clientele are ones that are a little more prepared
Yeah.
because it would stress me the fuck out to be running around like a chicken with my head chopped off,
Oh, I
not
hate
knowing where
last
to get
minute
my dog
stuff.
groomed.
Like, if you
Yeah.
don't schedule at least 24 hours ahead of time, I don't want it. Like,
Well, and that's exactly why like the online booking has a 24-hour cutoff for us. So
yeah,
like we knew at 4 o'clock today, all right, we're not getting any more cats tomorrow instead of like waking up and seeing more cats.
yeah,
I like that. I don't like not knowing what I'm doing the next day when I go to bed. So it's
yeah,
one of my biggest, like small paper cut issues at my
yeah.
job in Washington
Yep.
because I never knew. I never knew.
Oh, that would
Like
drive me
sometimes I
absolutely
knew
bonkers.
ahead of time, but there were so many days I'd wake up and have like no, and then I would know where I
Yeah.
was driving and what I was grooming. So
No, I've always been the type where I'm like, I need to know what I'm doing the night before.
well,
Like,
because also it changes what time I go to bed,
yeah,
what preparation I need to do. Like
you have to
anyways,
mentally prepare for that shit.
yes,
And yeah, um, that was always one thing I always hated is like last minute. Um, I especially hated it with mobile.
hmm
And like I eventually brought it up and they stopped doing it to me. But like like I'd be like, okay, it's my last dog. And then like
yes,
clean the whole van because like especially during the summer I would
hmm
clean at the last appointment while the air conditioning was on.
yeah,
Um
yeah.
and so I'd clean the whole van and then oh, I added another one to your schedule. I'm like, motherfucker.
Well,
And
see,
it
and that's why. Oh, go ahead.
like it wasn't their fault. Like they were just trying to give me a full day's work.
Right,
But
but like you did all
yeah.
the nitty gritty
Well, even if I hadn't done all that stuff, I would
and
have had a
want to
hard
be a freaking
time.
palm or something,
Yeah, it just
blowing
like because
code
it just
everywhere.
throws your whole like it throws my whole brain off.
So I had to nip that in the bud as well. The hey, I've got like a pug or a lat, like it was usually like a bath dog and it was close to the area, but even so, I'd be like, no, I can't do these same, I'm not doing a same day because when I go to work, I go to work with the exact amount of energy needed to complete the schedule that is for me.
Yeah,
So I do not have it in me even to do like an easy bath dog. It's not there because I have had to ration out my spoons to be able to go do this. And
yeah,
especially since the frustration was already taking spoons and like all of the you know everything.
yeah. No,
Um
I totally agree.
I don't
Like,
need to get into any of it. So I did not, and if I were to do it, then I'd be irritated I wasn't getting home when I thought I was getting home. I wouldn't have packed appropriately. I know, again, maybe it's a 30-minute Chihuahua bath. Although, I don't know. I feel like a Chihuahua I would have accepted.
yeah,
But that's just because that's like my breed.
yeah. But
But
like to other people, it probably isn't a big deal. And
that's true.
that
Yeah,
was the thing is like I had to learn to be like, hey, I'm not doing this, and they were
right.
fine with it. But like they're like,
You still
why
had
didn't
to
you tell me
express that.
sooner? You know?
Exactly. Well, because it's hard to tell people your boundaries.
Yeah. Um, we just went off on a real major tangent. So
We did, but we are still kind of talking. Just it's the ultimate lack of time. Because everyone's trying to get in. I will say with mobile, I didn't really have to worry about it because both when I was house call and then working mobile, um, we didn't take new clients. Like, and we'll get into that when we talk about different tips on how to kind of alleviate the burnout. We may be too late for this year to put some of these into place, but they're good ideas to think about, and maybe you can still alter your schedule. Who knows? So let's move on with holiday burnout stressors. So a big one for me is the overwhelming commercialism of the holiday. I don't think there's a single holiday I like. But then again, it's not that I hate it either. Okay, I like Halloween. Allison, don't crucify me. I love Halloween. Mostly because it's spooky and I like the decor and I like the outfits and like the gothiness of it. I love it. But it's also like specifically for me, Thanksgiving and Christmas and my birthday, but families don't usually gather on my birthday. But Thanksgiving and Christmas are very family holidays. It's very much like you, all your family gets together and does something. It's like an expectation, I feel like a societal expectation.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm pretty positive none of my family listens. I don't talk to half of my family. I am no contact with like half of my family, and I'm low contact with like, let's see, if I were to like percentage this out, I'd say maybe I'm just gonna say half and half. So 50% is no contact. That remaining 50%, probably about 30% is low contact, and then there's like 20% of people. And I don't have like a huge family. So there's like three people who I'm on regular communication with in my family.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, people are low contact or no contact. And that's like a whole thing. We don't have to get into all that. I'm sure we will at some point with some of the topics we delve into. Um, so there's not really like, it would be ingratiating for me to have to get together with all of my family.
Yeah.
Because that'd be really freaking awkward because they'd probably just be like, well, who the hell is this bitch? Because the no contact people I've been no contact for like a decade, and I do not look like the same person I was a decade ago. I do not talk the same. I do not act the same. Um, I'm not the same like fawning little girl.
Yeah.
So they would be in for a rude awakening. Um, Either way, so the fact that family is so like, I don't know, shoved down my throat, I feel for the holidays. I feel like I'm not doing the holidays right because I feel like that expectation is to be with your family. Now Joe's family, I love. I love Joe's
Yeah.
family. So we'll actually be with them for Thanksgiving and likely around Christmas time too. And that only works out because we're here in Florida. If we weren't in Florida, we would just do what we did like for 2 years, which I'm pretty sure we went hiking on Christmas and then went to like a Starbucks, or maybe it was Thanksgiving. I don't remember. And I was like, I feel so bad being here, but it was one of the only places open. And they're like, no, no, we signed up. Like people volunteered to work the holiday. I was like, okay, that makes me feel a little better.
Yeah.
But also too, because I'm like, yeah, I'll work on like if someone's gonna pay me, I will work on Christmas. I will work on Thanksgiving. I don't care because the days are just days for me. So that's a lot of word vomit from me. Stephanie, you feel affected by the commercialism of the holiday and like maybe
uh
the expectations around it.
I used to.
Uh-huh.
Um I very much always expected it to any holiday to be better than it was.
Right. Right.
um so for a long time there was a lot of like disappointment of like it wasn't this magical thing that it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
um
It's not a freaking Hallmark movie
yeah, which is probably the reason that I was expecting it to be so good anyways.
because
um
Hallmark movies tell a nice lie.
yeah. um I still can't help myself. I've been watching Hallmark like crazy. Um Especially cuz I grew up in a small town. Um and like that whole like small Christmassy town thing, like very much like my town, but it was
Hmm.
like the
Hmm.
only time that my town was like cool.
Romanticized and yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
But it was always like it was always disappointing because family.
It just
Um
it never lives up.
yeah. But actually when I met John, both we both like our families,
Hmm. Hmm.
part at least sides of our
Part.
family.
Yeah.
um yeah, so like we both like hanging out with our family, but we don't like big family events where like everyone's fucking there, especially me. It's too overwhelming. Everybody wants to play the fucking left right center game and I hate it, and I'm just trying to concentrate on what everybody's talking about.
Hold on, the what game?
Left right center. y'all sit in a circle and you're supposed to have
Mm-hmm.
coins, but my family does dollar bills. So you do three
Dollar
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 bills in
bills,
front of you.
y'all.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you do $3 bills in front of you, and as many people as you want can play. And you get 3 dice, and you take turns. You go around in a circle, rolling the 3 dice. And if it says L, you send one of your dollar bills to your left, the person at your
Oh,
left. If it says right, you go to the right. If it says center, you put it in the center, like there was a pot, basically.
okay. And then
Um,
who gets the pot?
well, whoever ends up with the last dollar bill in front of them ends up with the pot. They
Oh,
win everything. Um, and like when you start to get where you have less than $3 bills, you only roll the amount of dice that you have. Um,
okay. Okay.
so like
Not
if
to
I have
count.
$2
Yeah.
bills, I roll two, or if I have $1 bill, I roll one. If I don't have any, then I
Mm,
don't roll. Um, and like I I can enjoy the game, but I really enjoy when I'm with my family, like actually, first of all, I think everybody knows I fucking hate small talk.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Um,
mm-hmm.
so like I don't want to have small talk, and that's the only thing you can have when you're playing a game like Left, Right, Center with a bunch of drunken idiots. And I say idiots in a loving way. I love my family, but when we've gotten a little toasty, we can all be a little bit of an idiot.
Yeah.
Um,
Big
and
reason why I don't usually hang out with drunk people because they're idiots.
but like like I'd rather just hang out with them like individually or in like small groups. Like like I'd rather just spend time with, my dad and my stepmom and my step siblings. Like just
Yeah.
that. Just so we
Yeah.
could all hang out and get to like talk and actually have a conversation, because I don't want to have fucking small talk. I don't want to
Right.
play the goddamn game. I came here to conversate
And eat.
and eat.
I
And
show up to
you
these
guys,
things for the food.
yeah. Well, for me, like I when I show up, like listen, especially after 2020, if I show up to a social event, that is something I wanted to do. Like
Yeah.
I really want to do it. I will say no to so many social events just because I don't feel like going.
Yeah.
And I feel no
You've been
remorse.
empowered.
Yeah. And so, and like I literally I'll still use COVID as a fucking excuse if I need to. She'll be like, "I'm
Fuck yeah.
sorry, I have COVID." Like I don't know. I've never had COVID, by the way. Uh
Like, oh, I'm feeling a little under the weather.
yeah, I don't think I should go around people because this is sick.
Oh, I'm pretty sure someone I saw last week ended up having COVID, so that's like a COVID exposure.
Yeah,
Sorry, guys. I know we probably shouldn't joke about it, but it's been a very convenient out for a lot of us who don't handle social engagement very well.
yeah, and who are people pleasers,
Hmm.
and you know we feel like we have to go to these events.
Well, and
Um,
also too, like
you don't
when
have to go to anything.
when my Crohn's was acting like way up a couple years ago, though, like I felt bad using that as an excuse. Like I couldn't feel because that's very much like an invisible illness.
Hmm.
Um, so it's like I might look fine, but it doesn't mean I am.
No, I
Um,
get it.
but COVID was a very real global like thing, so it worked out a little better.
Yeah.
Whoops.
um, yeah, I still use that as an excuse sometimes, but like, yeah, if I am at an event, it's because I wanted to be there, and it's probably because I wanted to socialize with the people there.
Right,
I don't want to fuck around with small talk. Tell me
right.
all
You
of
were
your
there for
deepest, darkest
valuable
secrets.
conversation. Valuable conversation.
Yes. I want you to tell me all of your deepest, darkest secrets, all of the weird thoughts that you had
Like,
when you
tell
were
me about your
stoned.
childhood trauma.
Yeah, tell me all the childhood trauma. Um,
Like,
I
trauma dump, please.
This is actually going to be a test to see. I'm wondering if my aunt might listen to this podcast.
Oh,
Because I went to a wedding where my aunt was at, and they and I'm not saying the name just out of privacy reasons,
yeah.
but they immediately like started trauma dumping to me, and I was like, this is the greatest day ever.
Ah, like, yes,
I'm like,
tell me it all.
you read the assignment.
You
But
understood
just
the
started
assignment.
trauma dumping and telling me like they, all of their childhood trauma, telling me all about their current medical situation that they're having issues with.
Yep,
Like,
yep.
I'm like, yes, this is the conversation I wanted.
Like, I could literally just, if I were to ever ride a bus and I ended up sitting next to somebody and they wanted to hear a story, like, I'll tell my Crohn's story, surgery and poop, like bag and all, to anybody who will listen. Anybody. I
Yeah,
don't care.
yeah.
I'm like
Um
not ashamed to talk about anything anymore. Like, it's my life. So yeah, if you want to know about it, I'll tell you. Pretty
and
wild
like if
sometimes.
people ask me, I'm pretty open. Uh but I really love when people just trauma dump on me. Like, I don't take it like so like personal as like I have to help you, but if you just like if people just
Right,
want to like like trauma dump on me when I'm in the position to be ready for it,
right,
which in a social
exactly.
situation, if I am in a large group of people, I want someone to drama dump. I want to
Yeah,
like just forget everybody else and just listen. Like
yeah.
that's what I want to do. um but
Speaking of these large groups and social engagement, it's not only family things, there's friend things. You know, your
mhm,
friends are getting together around the holidays. I saw a lot of people doing Friendsgiving, which may be a little more low key than doing a family thing, but still, like, it's still a big, they may not all be mutual friends. So then you feel like a little awkward. They're like, is everybody getting along?
yeah.
Uh, Work things, like your
For
work
us,
may,
like
okay,
our friendsgiving is usually like we have our small group of like uh friends who are family,
yeah,
and those are the ones that come. They're the ones that we're like we feel totally comfortable wearing pajamas over to each other's houses.
yeah,
Like that's a lot easier than any other social situation.
right.
Um but yeah, sometimes those friend ones can be interesting.
Well, and then
um
work things. Like, I've never really been at a job where they've done a work thing, but I know like corporate stuff,
yeah,
they do like Christmas parties. And I feel like sometimes you're like, yeah, I already see all these people. I don't really want to go like
yeah,
let loose around them kind of thing. Like, I don't want to know them like that.
yeah. um I don't think a lot of places do work things, and if they do, I think a lot of them celebrate after the fact.
Uh, yeah,
Like the few places that I've worked, we like in January we get together. Like we've had a chance to kind of relax and calm down, and we're
right.
ready to start feeling the love for our you know, we have to get that
New
like
year, new
dopamine,
me.
huh?
I said, new year, new me.
Yeah, but we need that dopamine fix of um like getting out and like talking to people who are like excited about the same thing you are, you know?
Mhm,
So
mhm.
like that's why it's kind of nice to have it in January, in my opinion.
Yeah,
But like I know even outside of grooming, like a lot of places like John, his work, like they have a Christmas party, and I I don't get stressed for that one because they're totally my tribe.
right,
Um, but like I know that a lot of people would get stressed, especially about going to um like a spouse's Christmas party. That's
right.
fucking stressful.
Well, yeah, because then you're like, what did they say about me?
Yeah.
What
Well, or like,
expectation do they have?
yeah, or like they'll have like their, because when you work with people, and especially you're working full time with them, you see them a lot. And you
Mhm,
end up with a
mhm.
lot of like little inside jokes. And
Oh, and then you can feel kind of alienated.
yeah, because it's not like even with John, like I get along with his work people and stuff, but and like I'm never real bothered by it, but I have noticed there's like little things that they have like little inside jokes, and like I could be like hurt that he doesn't tell me about those, but it's just like
Yeah,
little things that he doesn't think about. And then I'm like, "Oh, you got that little inside joke." He's like, "Oh yeah. Yeah, I do have that inside joke with them." Like
yeah.
but like it does kind of feel a little alienating to not know what that joke means. Like it's
Well,
like,
and
"Oh,
also, like, okay, I need a non-religious substitute for heaven forbid,
uh,
because I'm struggling and I want to say heaven forbid, and I don't know how else to convey that without saying heaven forbid.
hmm,
That's just forbid. There we
that's
go.
just for a bit."
That's just forbid. That's what I'm saying for now. But I already forgot what I was going to say.
The universe
So,
forbid?
universe forbid. Okay. 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 Universe forbid. I like that. Okay. I can get with that. Maybe. Universe forbid someone's got a work wifey or a work hubby, and then things just get
Ugh,
awkward as fuck.
yes. I've never had a work husband or work wife,
Me neither.
but
I don't understand. Is that a neurotypical thing?
I guess so. Is that just friendship?
Yeah, because like if you're doing anything more than that, then you're cheating on your partner unless you're in a
Yeah, and you're
mutually
not gonna like
acceptable open relationship.
yeah, like if you're cheating on your partner, you're not gonna be like, "Oh, this is my work wife." Like that doesn't make
Right.
sense. But isn't it just good
I don't
friends? I don't understand it.
I don't get it either. So if someone's listening and you understand this concept, please explain it to us.
Yeah.
Because maybe
Uh
I'm just taking it too literally.
yeah. I mean, that's another thing like with all these social engagements, like you're going to be suscept-
Susceptible?
susceptible to a
Susceptible?
lot of different types of like
Oh, communication,
communication.
interpretations, presentations, all the Asians.
Like what the fuck is a work wife? What the fuck?
What the fuck?
What the
What the
fuck is a
fuck,
work
you guys?
wife?
What the fuck? Shirt design. What the furk?
What the
Because
fuck?
it's FURCK. What the furk?
I love it.
Okay,
Uh
hold on. I'm putting it on our Google Doc.
okay.
Except we
Oh.
need to keep talking because we're not doing a live. We're actually like recording right now.
Yeah.
So why don't
So
you
what the
talk about
fuck?
how it? Well, here. Why don't you talk about how we can feel more isolated even while we're being more social?
Yeah. Which is kind of what I was gonna go into is um
Nice.
yeah, like being
Susceptible,
susceptible to like being around all of these different personalities. You're going
subjected to all these different
subjected that yeah,
There
being
you go.
subjected to all these different types of
Yes.
personalities and different types of communication. You're gonna have a hard time fitting in some situations.
Yes.
Um, you know, we I see it all the time. Like neurodivergent people tend to flock together because the neurotypicals can tell that we're different. Like it's like another sense. The neurotypical is just like, I don't, you're different. I don't know why. And then the neurodivergent is like, I don't like you. I'm gonna go by these guys. Like,
Right. Like they're a
uh,
special kind of weird, and I'm a special kind of weird, and we embrace the word weird here. I don't mean this as an insult. I'm
yeah,
weird and I like it.
yeah. It was funny. We went to a pinball tournament a couple weeks ago,
Oh, yes.
and um were those kind of nerds, and I lost horribly. But
Aw.
I made a lot of new friends,
Yeah.
and it was funny because like when I go into a place, I do not normally just start talking to people. Like usually people have to start talking to me first.
Right.
Um Immediately this guy comes up and starts talking to me, and I was like, I found the autistics. Because he's like, here, meet my friend and meet this person. And I'm like, yep, you're all autistic. I didn't say it out loud, but I was just like, yep,
Well, yeah. Yeah.
we found each other.
I found my people.
But you might not be able to find your people, and um it can lead to feeling very isolated. Um
Yeah.
I've definitely felt that um in different situations when I was younger, especially. Um like I always got sat at the kids table, and I still do. I don't know why I always got sat at the kids table.
Yeah.
Like I always end up at the fucking kids table.
Maybe they just think
Um
you're responsible enough that you can keep a handle on the kids.
Not that responsible. Um and usually it's like with the parents of the kids, so I'm like, okay, cool. But like I always felt very like I and I feel better now. I've gotten better at talking to people, but like
Yeah.
I when I was younger, it I used to feel very isolated during holidays cuz like I I couldn't find anybody to talk to. And no one wanted to
Right.
talk about the things I did. No
Right.
one gave a shit about the dinosaur that I just learned about, or
No one wanted the info dump.
nope. Um and it was just because they weren't people like me. Their brains work differently. They weren't interested in that. I understand, but it does make you feel very isolated. Like there's no one really to talk to.
Yeah.
And you get that feeling of being like alone in a crowded room, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people feel that, especially people who are neurodivergent. So,
So one more big holiday burnout, holiday rush stressor I want to talk about before we take a break. Let's talk about how overstimulating it is to go into a store on a normal day versus going into a store during the holidays.
oh my God.
There are lights, more lights everywhere. There's more people,
Hmm.
and we're stuck listening to All I Want for Christmas Is You.
You know what my least favorite part is? The
What?
Salvation Army fucking bell ringers.
Oh my God, the bell ringers. You know, I
Oh my
actually
God.
did that for a while. I was a bell ringer and I
I I
survived
did it
on
in high
Monster and cookie
school.
dough. But
Um,
now, like, it is so anybody who's set up outside of a door, like asking for money.
Unless it's Girl Scouts.
Well, I don't normally buy Girl Scout cookies because then I'm gonna eat like the box in one sitting and it's not a good choice for me. Because I
I
don't
will do anything for a Girl Scout cookie.
noted, noted. Okay, so aside from Girl Scouts, though,
Yeah.
when people are set up outside the door asking for money, begging for money, however, I don't know, it's just they pull those guilty heartstrings. Like they make me feel guilt,
Yeah.
possibly unintentionally.
Well, and the thing
So,
is, like, I donate to a lot of places.
mhm,
Like, I do donate a decent amount, but I'm very particular about who I send them to.
right.
I'm not gonna donate to the Salvation Army anyways because I don't believe in them.
Well, yeah, they're kind of a POS
they're
company,
they're
aren't they?
sketchy. They're sketchy as
Yeah,
fuck.
yeah,
So like I don't even it's not even that I feel bad. It's that they're so fucking aggressive about it.
they are.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding,
They're
ding,
they're
ding,
ringing the
ding,
yeah, the bell is so fucking
ding.
annoying.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
then like don't fucking like look at them because as soon as they catch your eye, they are
Hmm.
going to be in your face. And it's not like being rude to you either. They're like
No,
like it's the like it's like they're trying to kill
They're
me
trying
with kindness.
they're trying to trigger that like reflexive, like, oh, this person is doing this, I'm supposed to do this.
Yeah.
That like cause and effect there.
Yeah.
And if I
And
break from
again,
societal expectations and not give them anything, I feel like I am in the wrong.
yeah. Um, and yeah, it is. It's like I feel like I'm in the wrong. And it's like, um, words like I don't go to the store on a normal day usually.
Right.
Like I have to it takes a lot for me to go into a grocery store. But especially during the holiday season,
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
I don't have spoons for small talk. And those people will small talk the shit out of you.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not going to deal with it. And I love that. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
um
I really need like sound bites because that
right?
would be one. And then because then like the cashier is like, oh well, what are you doing for Christmas? And I'm just like sitting at home on my phone. Like I'm not doing stop.
Yeah. Um yeah, it's like I I have literally went to go to the store, and because I saw a bell ringer, left
Yeah.
before I went into the store.
Oh.
Like I saw the bell ringer and went, "Nope, not today," and I fucking left. Last year I went into the one by my house, the Pick and Save by my house,
Yeah.
and there was this one fucking old guy that was ringing the goddamn bell. And like he like aggressively tried to get me to make eye contact with him
Oh my
while
God.
being like, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. Like I had purposely tried to go like give him a wide berth. Like there was a
Oh,
crowd of people around me. I went around the crowd so there was like
yeah.
people between us,
People
and he
buffer.
was still like, Merry Christmas, yelling at me. Like,
Oh my God.
and up until I got in the door, and I'm just trying to like I literally cannot talk to people while I'm at
Right.
the store, and then he's being fucking rude about it.
Yeah.
And then like I went to come back out, and he's still like literally like standing in front of me ringing the bell, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas,
Oh my God, that's obnoxious.
today. And I'm like,
Like that'll
I
knock your block off, old man.
dude,
That'll
I
put that
cannot
bell
do
where the
it.
sun don't shine.
Like, yeah, you want to talk about the difference between going into a grocery store like not normal times and during the holidays, and we've already gotten me to stop at the fucking door because of the
Right.
fucking bell ringers.
Right.
But after that, yeah, the fucking Christmas music.
Hmm.
And I like Christmas music, but I don't want to hear the same song over and over and over and over and over
Which
again.
honestly is why I'm so glad I don't work retail anymore because
Yeah.
the years that I did, it was over and over and over. Just like I forget how, what's the word? There was like a name for the radio playlist thing that like corporate stores, I don't know.
Oh yeah.
It's on the tip of my tongue, but it's okay. Anywho,
Um yeah, and I actually the the place that I was talking about that I worked at, the shop, um, for the Christmas Eve thing, that the owner of that shop also loved the Nutcracker.
oh,
And so the entire holiday season, from the day after Thanksgiving to Christmas Day, was the Nutcracker over and over and over again. It got to the point where we were doing like scissoring
oh,
and like doing the
oh,
dances. It was ridiculous.
I see. So we've been through a lot of holiday burnout stressors. When we come back, we're going to kind of touch on the holiday blues, this kind of phenomenon that a lot of us experience around the holidays. Um, yeah, so let's go ahead and take a break and listen to a message from one of our sponsors.
Okay.
And we're back. Before we jump into holiday blues, I would just like to say, remind you guys, we are using the AI like meeting companion on Zoom. So it's been doing a pretty decent job of giving us a summary after meetings, although some things are kind of funny. And what I am specifically curious about, and I know that me mentioning it again now, it's going to pick up on it and it will say something. So I'll check in both spots. But when I say that I'm going to stick the bell where the sun don't shine, I'm very curious if it understands what I mean. I was just thinking of that on our little break there. Like, does it understand the metaphor?
I guess we'll have to find out.
It'll probably say something like, Meg pondered the intelligence of AI. The oh, there's a term for it to be able to, I don't know. Oh well, it doesn't matter. Holiday blues, everybody.
All
So
right.
holiday blues are feelings of sadness, self-reflection, loneliness, and anxiety that occurs during the holidays. Increased tension around the holidays for these other stressors we've already mentioned can lead to irritability and headaches. It can come with overeating, excessive drinking, insomnia because we're not right.
Mm-hmm.
So, and also too, I mean, you also have like the time of year to consider, especially people in more northern latitudes. There's a lot less sun, so you're more likely to have seasonal depression as well.
Mm-hmm.
You have kind of all or seasonal affective disorder.
Yeah.
But either way, you have all of these things.
I'm
It's stressful.
weirdly the opposite with my seasonal affective disorder.
You're like,
Uh
no sun, yes.
yeah. I feel best during the winter time.
Well, hey, it takes all types.
Yep. Hate summer. Everything
Yeah,
hurts.
yeah.
So um
I would not like to feel like I'm melting, and that's what sweating is for me. I don't like to sweat.
yeah.
It's a very unpleasant sensation.
And meanwhile you're in Florida.
You know what? I know. I was like, oh, it'll be fine. It's winter. But like, let me pull this up right here. So, oh, that's racing. We don't need to be looking at racing. Like it literally hit 83 degrees today, and I'm like, what the furk?
What the
What the
furk?
furk?
What the furk?
Gotta have like that super strong. Although I will say, Thursday and Friday have highs of 68 and 66 respectively. That is
That
going to be
sounds wonderful.
glorious. Some of next week doesn't even hit 70. So I'm like, okay, now we're getting into the time that I was like, yeah, no, this will be fine.
Yeah.
Lows of like 50, 55, 60. So they don't usually have like super large. It's not like Arizona where like you can have an 80-degree day but like a 40-degree night. It doesn't usually range that large in Florida. But either way, it'll be a lot nicer than 80s. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But don't worry, I'm getting the heck out of here.
um yeah. uh with the holiday blues,
Yeah,
I will say I used to suffer with this a lot more um when I was younger and couldn't say no to anything. Um
yeah,
and overdid myself with all of the social things and
yep.
all of the work things
So you
and
were burnt out at both ends.
burnt out. Like, yeah. um I have uh not I have not had to deal with it the last like 2 years.
Right.
I also like I struggled with the whole like family thing. um
Yeah, yeah,
but then I just kind of came to the conclusion of I'm just gonna enjoy my day. This is my
yeah,
day to enjoy.
yeah.
um Thanksgiving, I'm going to eat a fucking turkey and lounge around my house doing nothing.
That sounds glorious.
Yes.
You're gonna have to come here, Dutch. Sorry, guys. People are coming into the house. So my dog is dogging in a way I don't approve of. So she's gonna lay in my lap.
uh,
Anyways, we can go ahead and go over some tips.
Yeah.
I just grabbed this whole nice list. So some things may be fine, other things may not be, because we have found when we find these nice lists of tips, it seems like half of them are meant with made with neurotypical people in mind, and there are things that we would absolutely not. However, a lot of these seem pretty okay.
Yeah.
So let's start off with some tips to manage or even prevent the holiday blues. Do you want to start us off?
Yep. Make realistic expectations for the holiday season. I would
Love
like to
it.
emphasize realistic.
Right. Exactly. Don't be like me.
Just like
Ugh.
know your limits and in
Right.
everything. And also like in my case, remember that it's not a fucking Hallmark holiday movie.
Exactly.
We watch those to make ourselves feel comfy. But they are not real.
Well, and also too, like if you think about it, like if you're feeling these feelings, there's a good chance that the people around you are feeling these feelings too.
Mm-hmm.
I got you.
So yes, set realistic expectations for the holiday season. Do you want to do the next one?
Set realistic goals for yourself.
Yes.
Hey, Meg, set realistic goals.
Hey Meg. Let's get some
Not me
realistic
doing
goals.
like 14 CPR classes. I'm in danger.
Do you know Darcy and Jer on TikTok?
Uh-uh.
No. So Darcy is he's the stoner guy and he's hilarious. It's a gay couple. And Darcy is basically me as a
Yeah.
man. Like
Aw.
he wears muumuus all the time. It's
Yeah.
amazing. And he smokes a lot and loves plants.
Aw.
And he uh whenever he's smiling, he like gets where his eyes kind of disappear. Um and so they'll put like in little like a little caption that says eyes not available. And just now you were smiling so big that I was like, eyes not available.
Oh my God, I love that. I's not available right now.
Yep.
I got Pete's.
Ooh, Pete's.
Pete's.
Just
Sorry, guys. You who are listening don't get to see the Pete's.
they're pretty adorable.
Okay,
Though.
fine. You can get to snoot too. Yeah. Yeah. Boop boop boop. Boop 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 boop. The snoot is booping me back. All right, you're going back. You're laying down. You're laying down. We're being good. Okay, we also want to pace ourselves.
Yes.
Sorry, I am not pacing myself because I'm stealing this one.
You're
Do
fine.
not take on more responsibilities than you can handle.
Meg.
Ah,
Meg.
yes.
Meg.
I don't know what you're repeatedly saying my name for at all. Not at all. Oh, hey, Stephanie. Hey, Stephanie, make a list and prioritize the important activities.
Yes. I have lots of lists.
Yes, but are they prioritized? Do you know what to do first?
No, I've just started guessing.
Stephanie.
I've gotten better at it.
Okay.
Also, sometimes I'll just ask AI and AI will tell me. So
there you go.
AI is pretty good at stuff like that. AI is my favorite crutch, to be honest. So yeah, make a list and prioritize the important activities. Helps to make the tasks more manageable. It would probably work for me better now, but it didn't work for me so much in the past because I didn't understand it. But you got it there?
Yeah, no, Dutch just kicked my computer. I'm back. Sorry, guys. That was probably like a total boob shot, but whatever. Go ahead. You'll have to watch the YouTube for that.
So back when I tried this, my therapist suggested it, is like we knew we were coming up to, for us, it wasn't so much Christmas that we had a hard time with. It was the month of September. But you could do it with
Ah,
Christmas too.
yeah.
For some reason, the month of September just has like all of the birthdays and all of the anniversaries. So
Oh,
like it's insane for us. Um and it didn't work for me before because I didn't understand why I was doing it, but I actually did. My therapist told me, like, when we started planning, like, write out all of those social things that you think you have to do. Write them all out, prioritize which ones you want more, and only like
yeah.
she's like, just cut out a few of them.
Right.
Um and I had a hard time with it because I was still having a hard time with like saying no.
Yeah,
Um
accepting that you cannot do all the things.
yeah, but it would really work for someone who actually like understood what they were doing. And I think it would work for me now is to like, you know, I actually kind of do it is I plan out my at least a month, I have my month planned out.
Yeah.
If I get a bunch of social stuff that week, I will, or that, for that month, I'll like go
Book
through
some
and be like,
downtime.
I actually will go through on my calendar and be like, okay,
Hmm.
I'm not going to have enough downtime between these events, so we have to
Right.
choose.
Right.
Um, or like, whatever. And so I will go through and do that. And we just sometimes, because John has a lot more social ability than I do.
Right.
So like John will still go to things, like he goes to a lot of the things still, because he wants to, and that's
Yeah.
fine. I'm like, I
He's
don't,
got the spoons.
yeah, I don't have the
He
spoons for
came
that.
with the whole family pack of spoons.
Yeah, I did
We
not.
got like the gas station slash fast food kind of
Yeah,
cornucopia that we've like plucked out of the trash can.
yeah. Uh,
The hell?
but yeah, it does really work to do that. It's worked in the past for me. Now that once I've learned why
Right.
you do it. But
Right.
it did make it a lot more manageable to just kind of look at it and be like, okay, I can't do that. I can't do all of these things, and I'm going to cut it down. Like, these aren't going to
Yeah.
work. These aren't going to
Yeah.
work. And I just, like, if I can't decide, because a lot of times, it's like, oh, which one would I go to instead? Like, I don't know which one to go to. Like, I have to choose. And if I can't decide, I'll just roll the fucking dice.
There you go.
And whether I actually listen to the dice or not is dependent on how I feel when I see the dice roll. Because
Well, yeah, because
sometimes I'll
that
just
could
be
prompt
like,
you to make you realize real quick what you actually want him to do.
yeah. And it made it a lot easier for me to like go through and like give myself time. And you just got to give yourself grace with that. Like, you're allowed to just choose not to do all the things.
Right. Exactly.
So,
You can also not put your energy all into one day. Like, for
yes.
example, Thanksgiving or New Year's Eve. Like, it's a whole season. It
Yeah.
doesn't, like, that one day does not have to be perfect.
That's um like I know people who will have like 5 fucking parties to go to on Christmas or like Thanksgiving. And
Oh
I'm like,
my. It
no.
was bad enough going between a split family, like going to two.
Yeah. I'm like, why are you going to 5 fucking parties? That's ridiculous. Um, that's why, so like I like to spread them, like, my like social things out throughout the season. Um, like the people that I want to hang out with, I make sure to hang out with them during the season and celebrate.
Right.
But I also I like I group them into small groups so that
Hmm.
I'm not
Hmm.
seeing everyone at once, and it
And then you
doesn't
have the
all
pressure
have
to
to be in
talk to
one day.
everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do small little things with each group of people that I want. And it's so much less stressful because those
Yeah.
big events are just way too much. You
Huh.
okay?
I'm hearing, okay, there was like a couple things where like I'd say, yeah. Okay, I don't hear it anymore. I was hearing feedback. I was hearing myself like a second later. I'm like,
Weird.
why is that happening? But I don't hear it anymore. And it was
Huh.
just like that one little split. Um, Anyways, so live and enjoy the present. Something that I have been trying to do and what I try to do every day, no matter whether it's the holidays or not. Like just enjoy what's right here because it's really easy to get like super anxious about the future, dwell on the past, but just try to be right here. Like we are right here.
Being in the
It's
present is one of my superpowers because I have really bad object permanence, and that goes for time. So the future doesn't exist, and neither does the past.
I am a
uh,
little jealous, just a little
I
bit, because a lot of my
that's always been one
anxiety.
of my superpowers. John always thinks it's funny. Like,
Yeah,
um, I'm really in the present.
yeah,
He's like, "Do you
yeah.
ever think about the future?" And I'm like, "I think about like dinner time. Like sometimes I wonder what's for dinner."
Aww.
Uh, yes. And looking
So the
into the
next one
future with
doesn't apply very
optimism.
much.
Yeah, it doesn't really make much difference to me. Um, but yeah, looking at your future with optimism. I
Yeah,
think a lot of
yeah.
people look at
Look
it,
at it with dread.
yeah. Um, that's one thing that I did have to learn. I had to kind of learn to enjoy the journey
Right.
and not worry
We're
so much about where it's
we're
taking me.
getting a little fortune cookie.
Huh?
I'm here for it. I said we're getting a little fortune cookie. Because I feel like we've been like, look into the future with optimism. Life's a journey. Like it's
I guess. I mean,
I
I
like
did
it
like,
though.
but like I did have to kind of start seeing things
Yeah,
differently.
yeah,
Um, like I didn't have so much issue with the future that I wasn't optimistic about. I was not optimistic about my present, but
right.
trying to look at it with more optimism and um trying to see the silver linings,
Yeah, yeah,
um I've worked really hard to kind of get used to I'm going to just sit in this space and enjoy what's around me. And
yeah,
um trying to just keep that optimism because the negativity doesn't do any good.
yeah.
As easy as it is to be negative.
Right,
Um I I think it's also okay to be negative in small chunks. Um
right.
if
Yeah,
you need to have a bitch fest about how shitty of a day you had, then have a bitch fest about how shitty of a day you had. And then when you're done, then move on.
exactly. Feel your feelings.
Feel your
Your
feelings
feelings are valid.
and just remember that like it's over. So like you lived.
And this next one here, the don't set yourself up for disappointment and sadness by comparing today with the good old days of the past.
Or like a
Don't
Hallmark movie.
compare it to a Hallmark. Yes, that is a cinematic story that involves angles and a story that was written knowing how the end was and being able to control every aspect. And that's
Yeah.
why I can't watch those movies because it's such a like tired trope. I like like
I think that's why I like them is because it's it's the same formula for every single thing. And
there's too much romance for me. I don't do
oh,
rom-coms
I like
very well
romance.
either. I don't like I don't know. I don't know. It's just never really
I've
been my
always
thing.
been a sucker for romance.
Yeah.
Um I like romance novels. I don't like the really intense sexy novels.
Oh, you're not a smut reader.
Like I read some smut because I like the stories. Um
Okay.
but like there's some books where it's just like insanely sexual through the whole thing and I
Yeah.
can't stand it. Like have a little sex thing there, I'll just skip over it.
Right. Right.
But I do have a thing for the romance. I like that like leading up to it part.
So
Like
like the note you like stuff like Nicholas Sparks stuff.
yeah.
Okay. I still have yet to see the Notebook. I might see it eventually, but I just maybe. I
Yeah.
don't know.
I I'm a sucker for romance. I always have been. I don't know what it is. Um I but like yeah, it's the romance part. I like the romance.
Yeah. Yeah.
The rest of it, meh.
Meh.
I was actually I've been reading a book and it's a series of books and it's a
Yeah.
AI romance series.
What?
It's like having like robot android like androids and people falling in love with the android.
Oh, so I thought this was AI writing a romance novel,
No, this is
but
it's
now I need to read an AI written sex scene, but I'm not Googling it.
I
Joe
will
just
work
said,
on that for you.
oh boy,
I am going to have to
because he's
ask
only
the chat
hearing half of the
GPT.
conversation.
What?
He's only hearing half of the
Oh.
conversation. So,
I will have to figure that out on chat GPT and I will send that
okay,
to you.
you let me know.
Um
You let me
but
know.
yeah, I've been reading this one and like there's really good story to it about like the like like is it morally okay for you to fall in love and like can they
Oh,
feel feelings and like I like
right,
that kind of part of it and um like the how seeing how like the android will show like feelings towards people even though they can't feel feelings and like
right.
I enjoy that part. I do not give a shit about that android's penis. And they
Talking
spent way too long talking about his
about it.
penis.
Oh,
I skipped like 20 fucking minutes of the book because
wow.
there was so much android penis.
Oh my God. This is all just raising more questions for me. So let's move on. If you're lonely, maybe look up some AI smut or try volunteering sometime to help others.
um and I think it's important for as people who are neurodivergent to realize
Yeah,
that we can we don't have to have socialization that is stressful for us.
right,
We could find people who are like us that we don't have to mask up and
right.
stress out for. Um so you could try volunteering. Good luck. Um I mean you should. Volunteering
Right.
is great. But if you don't have the spoons to volunteer, try looking for local groups for something you're interested in. Like with the pinball tournament that me and John just went to, I found that in a local group. I found that online.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we went and we got to meet a bunch of cool people who we had something to talk about. Um, so like that's another one is like you don't have to necessarily go volunteer. You can just like find people who are your people.
Exactly. Also, I'm really sorry if anyone's catching any of the noises. I'm just making out with my dog. No big deal. Um, I'm just like surprised kissing her on the face, and then she comes and tries to lick my mouth, and then I like turtle my head back and then rinse and repeat. Okay, bye, Duchess. She said goodbye. You're telling the world I'm out. All right, so we can also find the holiday activities that are free, such as looking at holiday decorations, going window shopping without buying, which I hate doing. Oh
Mhm.
God, I don't like going. Ah, Joe, I'm talking about you. Um, no, it's not. Oh God, just hold on. Because Joe will be like, if we know we're going to purchase something, he'll be like, let's just go look at them. I'm like, I don't want to go look at them unless I'm able to buy, because then I just get frustrated that I can't buy it because it's not the time to buy or I need to save up money. Why are you staring at me?
You get frustrated because you don't get
Uh-huh.
the dopamine.
I don't get the dopamine. I don't want to go look at them until I'm ready to buy.
Yeah.
Because also too, if it's something that's 4 or 6 months out, but technology changes, things change. There might be other things available at that time. Like I want to go look at things when I'm ready to buy. So I don't like the window shopping. Watching the winter weather, whether it's a snowflake or a raindrop, or if you're in
I
Florida.
so this is the part that I do really well with during the holiday season. I'm not really tied to like Christmas, like as a like that's not my holiday. I am pagan.
Right.
I I don't really even necessarily celebrate Yule first, like in the same
Yeah.
way that others do, but I do show appreciation for the seasons.
Yeah.
Um, and so for me, first of all, I fucking love looking at Christmas decorations.
Okay.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
if you've never lived in a place that like snows, um, during the winter, you have
Right.
never gotten to fully enjoy Christmas decorations. But every year, me and John, we pick a night and we do a Christmas decoration date where
Yeah.
we we get hot chocolate or coffee from whatever coffee shop, and then we drive around and look at decorations
Yeah.
just for like hours, and it's so fun. We love finding new ones, and um so like that's a really fun date night where we get to enjoy
Yeah.
the season. And also like yeah, watching uh the weather, like watching it outside. Nothing
Right.
is more exciting to me than a snowy day where I don't have to leave the house.
And see, that's the thing. I love snow if I don't have to go anywhere in it. It's just the quietness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It quiets everything and it's so nice, and just like being able to like sit
Hmm?
and look outside at the snow while I drink a nice like hot cup of cocoa or something. Like
Does anyone want my husband? He just said he misses the snow.
he could come up here.
He can go be a snowbird husband.
Yeah. The snow's not that bad, really.
I need to be able to make money and have food without going anywhere. I've got like half of that worked out. You just gotta, build that. Anyways, shh. So let's run through the last couple ones of these here. Of course, it says, I mean, this one doesn't apply to me. I don't drink, but limit your drinking because excessive drinking will only increase your feelings of depression.
Unless it's eggnog. Eggnog is the best.
Drink all the eggnog.
Yes. With
You can
brandy.
try something new. Did you say with brandy?
With brand, you put brandy in the eggnog. That's
I'll just
another
drink.
like
I'll just drink the
tradition.
eggnog. Thanks.
That's another tradition that we have. Well, we like to decorate together, and so as we put up the decorations, we drink eggnog with
Yeah.
brandy. It's a really
Coconut
fun,
water. Yes, absolutely.
it's a very fun date night for us.
Aw.
Um,
Yeah.
and it's a nice way to get into the spirit. Um,
Yeah.
and then you get the dopamine of seeing all of your cool decorations out all the time.
Yeah.
So I
Well,
Halloween is my favorite holiday, but Christmas is like right up there. I fucking
hmm,
love Christmas. Like not
yeah.
Christmas necessarily, but like
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But like that, just the time and the
yeah,
traditions that you enacted. And maybe it's because we don't have any traditions. Maybe I
need
feel a
traditions,
different
man.
kind of way about them. I don't know. I kind of tend to buck those.
You tend to what?
Buck tradition.
Oh,
It's a saying, I promise.
you can have your own traditions. That's the
But
thing.
here, I can try something new by celebrating the holidays in a new way,
Yeah,
like spending time with supportive and caring people. So I never end up alone. At the bare minimum, I have Joe and the dogs.
yeah. If they make you happy, that's what matters.
And if friends invite us to things, like if we weren't already going to see family, Beth and them are just staying here and doing something. And we would totally be able to just hang out with them.
Yeah. But you could start having holiday traditions with just you and Joe
Exactly.
and the
Although
dogs.
creating a tradition though seems like a lot of work, and then there's the stress to make sure we do the tradition all the time. So I just kind of do what I feel like doing in the moment.
Okay. I mean, like if it's
It just
something
seems like a
like
lot of expectation.
I don't know, it doesn't necessarily have to be though. Like we don't have a whole
Yeah.
lot of expectation about our date night of going around to look at lights. It's we're going to be together and that's what we care about. Um
So the tradition will just be watching Chicago Med because that's what our current tradition is. That's
okay.
what we will do then too. It's a great show. I love it. Anyways, reach out and make new friends. Hmm.
Eh,
Make new friends, but keep the old. One is silver and the other's gold. A circle is round, it has no end. That's how long I want to be your friend.
it's
Wow.
adorable.
Um, can you tell I was a Girl Scout?
hmm
Like I'm curious how many like underlying memories I just unlocked to people listening.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you did. The only
So
reason
please
I
let
knew
me
it
know.
is because my sister did a lot of Girl Scouts. Um, I did it for like 3 months and found out that we don't
Okay.
get to go in the woods, and I quit.
Oh, yeah, I was in it. But then, like, our
We like
troop didn't really do
went to
anything
get our
exciting.
nails done and got makeup done by a Mary Kay person,
Ugh.
and it was girly shit. I don't want to do that. They make
Like,
cupcakes.
like
I'm like,
our
no, I want to
camping,
go in the woods and find out how to make a fire.
our camping out was like setting up a tent in some like subdivision, some like white picket fence's backyard.
Yeah.
That was like the most adventurous thing we did. And one of like our meetings was literally just like we were in this like conference room that I guess they rented out, and we blindfolded each other and had to smell different foods and guess what they were. And I'm ashamed to say I couldn't identify peanut butter, and that's one of my favorite fucking foods. I feel like I would nail it now, but like as a fifth grader, it wasn't there.
Yeah. Well, and
But either way,
also
so I didn't stay very long.
that was kind of lame. So I would have been distracted by how lame it was. So
Well, and also like there was this whole thing. So when we're gonna get into just a little bit of family trauma right here, just a little teeny tiny bit.
trauma
Meg doesn't talk
dump,
about a lot of this
trauma
stuff.
dump, trauma
Um,
dump.
so you guys are getting to hear this, Stephanie. I don't even think I've told you this actually, because it's so long ago. It doesn't really, but when I like think about it, I'm like, huh, that was really sucky of that lady, of my friend's mom. So I had a best friend. Okay, this was my first best friend. I remember her name. I'm not gonna say it. Um, like she lived 6 or 7 townhouses down from us. So I grew up with her. We went to the same school. We were best friends. We were Girl Scouts together and everything. In third grade, my mom and dad split up, got divorced. It was not a good split. I was very much in the middle of the divorce. They did all the things they tell you not to do. Like I knew they trash talked both people to me. Like it was a whole thing. And little cute aw. I thought that because they met while bowling, I could get them to go bowling and they would fall back in love again.
Aw.
I know it's like an awe, but also like a bless your heart. But
Yeah.
I was in third grade. I was 8. Like I
Yeah.
didn't understand how any of this works.
That's
But either
it
way,
was very sweet that your brain
yeah,
went like that thought of that, but also I'm sorry that
I know.
it was not realistic.
Yeah, no, not realistic at all. God, if it were that easy. But no, so it was a bad split and it was in 8th grade. And I went to, there was literally like this counseling group called Banana Splits that was for kids with split up parents. And I was in
You
that for
get
like
banana
3 years in
splits.
elementary school. Huh?
Did you get banana splits there?
No, we didn't get banana splits.
I would have been
However,
disappointed.
my guidance counselor in elementary school, I can't remember her name. I can only vaguely see her, but she took to me and took me under her wing and like literally took me. I don't know how this worked out, but she like took me to a PetSmart and got me a beta fish to take care of. And that was like a big thing for me as like a, I don't know,
Yeah.
she was really sweet. But anyways, point of the matter is I start acting differently because of course that's a lot of fucking trauma right there
Yep.
for your parents to not be together anymore and like how messy it was. So my best friend's mom forbade her to hang out with me. Basically told her she wasn't allowed to be my friend anymore because she didn't like how I was. Because I was, I don't know, probably depressed and upset and sad.
Mhm.
So like we had this whole thing. It was a birthday party, I think, maybe, or something like that. And I like made room for her to sit by me. And she literally came over and was like, I'm sorry, my mom says I can't sit by you.
Wow.
And like walked away. And she ended up like trying to steal my boy crush and it got funny after that.
Yeah.
Obviously it wasn't really then.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so yeah, adults don't be sucky. Realize that maybe your daughter's best friend is going through some issues and I don't know, maybe needs some more support instead of alienating her. Anyways, I don't remember. I have no idea why I'm talking about this. Girl, because we started talking about Girl Scouts, and then
Yeah.
and so like she was the troop leader, the mom. So I think that had something to do with not doing it, and also because I was just like, this shit's lame, bro. Like this is lame. I want to actually do things. Like people are out there like making fires and like tracking
Yeah.
animals through the woods and like they're actually doing things. And maybe like looking back on it like an adult, I'm like, okay, they're just doing what they could with what they had. Maybe they didn't have access or the ability or even confidence to do things like that. But either way, it's funny that the next one is make time to contact the long lost friend or relative and spread some holiday cheer. So I
If you
actually
want to.
found, if you want to, because I found this person that I was best friends with until our mom told her we couldn't be friends. I found her
Hold
on
on.
Facebook. Okay.
You take the dogs. Go.
Please hold. Do, 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 do. Do, do,
Sorry.
do, 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 do,
All right,
do.
we're good now.
Okay. Anyways, thank you for holding. Your call is very important to us. No, your spot in line is 14. Anyways, um, yeah, no, so I found her on Facebook and we like awkwardly talked for a day or two, and she very quickly was like, it just, there was nothing really there, also because like we were young. And yeah, so there was just nothing to really talk about. Kind of like, hey, you remember that time when you like stopped talking to me because my parents broke up? Like, there just wasn't,
Yeah.
there's nothing to talk about there. Anyways, we can move on from that because I started to get a little like self deprecating and salty, and that's okay. Make time for yourself.
I think that's the most important one.
Yeah,
Make time for yourself. Make lots of time for yourself. Say no to all of the other things and do the thing that you want to do.
exactly. Who cares if it's what other people think you should do? If you're not hurting yourself, you're not hurting other people, you're getting done what you need to get done. Who the fuck cares? And if they care that much, they should probably be worrying about their own life because that's probably a bit of projection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh
Let's see. Let others share the responsibilities of holiday tasks.
yeah.
Delegate.
Yes. You do not have to do everything.
And boys, go get in that kitchen. Go get in that
Yes.
kitchen and see if you can prepare. At the very least, clean up. Do not go sit down with your beers and have the ladies take care of everything because we're over that shit. I'm not pointing at you. Stop, please. Sorry, guys. We're getting a little bit of a peanut gallery here. I feel like I
Um,
need to look that up.
Peanut
I'm
Gallery?
trying to record, babe. Yeah, something tells me I need to actually hold on.
Okay.
Because
Um,
you keep going. Go ahead.
okay. And the last one is keep track of your holiday spending. Overspending can lead to depression when the bills arrive after the holidays are over. So, extra bills with little budget to pay them can lead to further stress and depression.
Yeah,
Um,
because finances are a big stressor. I don't know if we touched on that, but like,
yeah,
it can be
for like
stressful.
people that aren't me, apparently. Um, Even when I was poor as shit, I hated fuck worrying about money. I
Yeah,
was just like,
yeah.
fuck money.
Okay, I found it and I am partially right. Okay,
Okay.
you ready, guys? So first, a peanut gallery in the days of vaudeville, which we'll go into that if you don't know what vaudeville is. It's a nickname for the cheapest and rowdiest seats in the theater, the occupants of which are often known to heckle the performers. The least expensive snacks served at these theaters would often be peanuts, so they would express their disapproval by throwing peanuts at the performers. So that's peanut gallery. Now, according to Stuart Berg Flexner, which is a lexicographer, which is basically like he handles English and like language, and that's his study. Noted for his books on the origins of American words and expressions. So, also co-editor for the Dictionary of American Slang. So he knows his words. The term owes its origin to the United States segregated South as a synonym with the back seats or upper balcony mostly reserved for Black people. I knew there was a racial tinge to using it, so I was trying to figure out, like, wait a second,
Yeah.
maybe I need to be, yeah. Anyways, a little sidestep there.
So now we won't use the
Oh,
peanut
but
gallery.
do you know what vaudeville is?
Yes.
Okay, me too. Does everyone
Okay.
know it? Oh, no one's going to be answering me.
uh, do
Basically,
we?
like a comedy, variety, entertainment. Um, but they have their own issues as well.
Yeah,
Yes. But anyways, let's get back to the topic at hand.
we're actually ready for our break.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and take a break and listen to a message from one of our sponsors. And we're back.
We're back.
So you guys know I can't keep the train on the tracks. I don't think I had tracks to begin with, so I apologize. I'm especially loose-brained today.
Okay.
Yeah. I just feel like I've been very like I've been more squirrely than normal.
A little bit.
But
That's okay.
anyways, so this is my favorite section because this is the section where I get to preach a little bit. And because these are all things that I'm also trying to pound into my own head for if I ever do run my own grooming business again. So we're going to talk about like grooming specific tips, how to beat the holiday rush and the holiday burnout.
Hmm.
The biggest thing, and I have it in all caps. Well, I have two things, but we'll get to that. Say no.
Yes.
I'm going to say it one more time. Say no. No is a complete sentence. Set
No.
boundaries and keep them. I know it is really hard to not people please. And literally in my notes for this episode, I said, talking to you, Meg. Although I would like to say,
We
and hope,
all are the people who say, "Nyeh."
but I'm hoping, like real talk right now, Stephanie, like, have you seen me improve?
Huh?
Real talk. Have you seen me improve?
Yes.
Do I still have work to do?
Oh yeah. We all do.
Oh, yeah.
Me too. Uh,
But I've gotten significantly better
yep.
because I'm finally have like connected, like, oh, if I don't enforce my boundaries, people take like shitty, people treat me like shit. There we go.
Yeah.
Like, it may not be intentionally, but it certainly does build resentment.
Yeah. Cause they think you're okay with it if you don't say anything.
Yeah,
They think
that's the
everything's
people
fine.
pleaser. They do. They probably did the whole time,
Yeah.
unless they catch little snippets of me trash talking. But
Yeah, that was a different
water under
story.
the bridge,
Um,
really. I am a better person for it.
yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I've definitely, I definitely struggled with saying no a lot, especially when I first started working for the mobile.
Mhm. Mhm.
And then I had a lot of resentment for them because I was being overworked, but it was because I never said no. It was my
Yeah.
fault. It wasn't their
Yeah.
fault.
Right.
They were just like, "Oh, you want to take on this extra work? That's fine." Like, sure.
Like, all right, we'll give you this extra work.
Yeah. Um, and I never said no, but then I was resenting them for working me so hard. And it's
Right.
like, "No, you dumbass.
Which
Like,
really
you
I
did
think
this
is
to
kind of
yourself."
like projection because instead, you're angry at you, but yeah.
Yeah.
So blackout days for yourself. I know a lot of us take Christmas to New Year's off, which is all fine and dandy, but why are we running ourselves into the ground beforehand?
I
So
agree.
set your hard limits. So I had suggested when
You
we
do
were
not
making
need to
this,
work 7 days a week.
like these notes here, like don't work past 4 o'clock on Christmas Eve, for example. And Stephanie very quickly was like, or don't work Christmas Eve at all.
Yes.
And just don't do it.
Just don't do it.
Do it.
Not worth it.
Just don't do it. Don't do it. Have a vacation or staycation after the holidays. Like I said, a lot of salons and groomers kind of closed from that Christmas to the New Year's. That was my favorite time to be off, um, because then it felt like I earned this, which vacation should never feel like you earned it. You deserve a vacation. But I knew that it was kind of like my motivator, knowing that, okay, I just have to get through Christmas
Yeah.
and then I have like a week off.
Mm-hmm.
So a couple considerations. Consider not scheduling any new clients during November and December. Now, of course, this only works if you're an established business, but you have your current clientele. Hi, Nibbler. Current clientele must book their holiday appointments beforehand. That way, you have your schedule. It's a calmer day, calmer week, no last minute squeeze ins, and you have your regularly maintained clients. This is how we worked in the mobile. We did not take new clients those last like 2 months, and we saw everyone like every 4 to 6 weeks.
Yep.
So it was just like same old, same old. We didn't really get much of a holiday rush because it was just
Yep.
they were seen so frequently, they had their holiday appointment and they were good.
No, I definitely noticed a big difference
Yeah,
between like holidays in like a shop versus mobile. It was
right,
way less stressful.
right.
Because yeah, we did the same thing. Another thing is what was I gonna say?
I
Uh
don't know.
like only having uh like some people will do like the last week or 2 weeks before Christmas, they only do bath and trims.
Right. Like
Um
do a bath and tidy or even just baths, like no full haircut. So it's very like wash and dry, wash and dry, wash and
yeah,
dry. No real like variable in there.
yeah,
Just an easy bath week.
yep. Um
Also, stay hydrated. That's the other one that's in all caps. Where's your
and
beverage?
eat your fucking lunch. This is my
Okay,
beverage.
good. Everybody, you better have a
Where's
beverage. We're
your
a little
beverage,
late.
Meg?
Double fisting, bitch. I am a special kind of special tonight. I am not sure what's happening right now.
I'm not mad about it. It's been fun.
It's been fun. I think it's because
um,
I have felt like a boiled sack of shit for like the last week. And while I'm not like completely out of the woods, also I'm not like sick like that. I'm like Crohn's sick, chronically sick. Like I'm not like
yeah.
hit. Um, anyways, so if you guys don't have your beverage, I know we're a little late in the episode for me to be reminding you, stop, get your beverage, take a drink,
Right
chug
now.
it. Chug, chug,
Chug
chug,
it,
chug, chug,
chug it,
chug, chug,
chug
chug,
it.
chug, 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 chug. Okay, good job. We can carry on.
Oh,
Do you have any other
Nicole,
tips for
what if
grooming?
Nicole's watching? Do we need a video of this?
Oh, yeah,
Send us
no,
videos
we
of you
need
getting your drink.
video proof, please.
Yep.
That you got your beverage. But yeah, no, because like I am very prone to getting chronically dehydrated because of my Crohn's. Um, and I'm not very good at hydrating even for a non-Crohn's having person. So that I think played a huge part
Mm.
in how crappy I was feeling because I was, crapping. And it was making me not want to eat or drink anything. And then it just like I was losing fluids and not replacing them. And so I was feeling like a boiled sack of shit. We were supposed to record this episode last week, but I did a whole day of work. There, I like ate like a piece of like a little cheese snack, and that was it because I was so afraid to eat. Got back, we got like a Subway foot long. I horfed it down and then fell asleep. And Joe's like waking me up, like, hey, aren't you supposed to record? And then I'm like, Stephanie, I don't remember what I said. I didn't even ask to reschedule at first. I was like, so this is what just happened. And you're like, dude, do you want to reschedule? I'm
Just
like,
reschedule.
please, please. Because like I had given myself like a really, really bad headache. I'm afraid to call them a migraine because I feel like they're not bad enough to be a migraine, but they're bad enough to make me want to like stab my brain. So maybe
Yeah, either way.
either way. Um, yeah, no. So I was not doing okay. I'm doing a lot better now. I
That's
don't know
good.
why I was talking about that. Oh, maybe that's why I'm like a special kind of special right now.
Yeah, that could be
Mhm.
it. So,
But it's fine. Did we have any other grooming related tips,
yeah. I
recommendations?
mean, first of all, or lastly, I would like to reiterate: eat your fucking lunch.
And we're not talking like a donut
Yeah,
or
bring
like a couple
bring or
crackers.
order a lunch and eat a lunch.
Eat food.
Yes.
It's okay to snack throughout the day.
Yes.
Yes, you can eat at your grooming table, maybe blow the hair off first, but I mean,
Whatever
just
works.
eat it.
You need the food to fuel your body.
Stop and use the bathroom. Do not give yourself a bladder infection,
Jesus.
please. Like, if Fifi's mom doesn't understand that you had to stop to go pee, Fifi can go elsewhere.
Exactly.
That is not your client. You are not here to please everybody. You will not be everybody's cup of tea, and not everyone is going to be your cup of tea. Anyways,
Agreed.
let's go ahead and take a break, our last break. And then when we get back, we'll kind of talk about our holiday and winter plans and what we got going on. All right. See you soon. And we're back.
We're
And I
back.
just got to say, I feel so weird about how I went into that break. I've literally never said, see you soon. Oh my God, that was weird. Like, I'm always like, let's listen to a message from one of our sponsors. And that's where it ends. Not a, okay, see you soon. Like 30 seconds passed for you guys. That's it. Anyways, so we're back. What are our holiday and winter plans? We kind of touched on it already a little bit. But Stephanie at the Meditative Groomer Academy has the seedling program starting up. This
Yep,
will be
yep,
the
yep.
second run of this program. It's a 3-week long program. It meant to prepare students to be a groomer's assistant. So, do you want to kind of explain what they'll be capable of doing, grooming wise?
Basically, yeah, a groomer's assistant is basically the way I did it is they learn
Mm-hmm.
well, obviously bath, nails, ears, blow dry, brush out.
Yeah, yeah,
But they will also learn sanitaries, paw pads, and silhouette trims. So
nice,
anything like where you trim furnishings and stuff like that.
right.
And bath and trims. So like if you have a doodle doing like the face trim,
Doing a little face trim. Yeah,
face,
yeah,
feet, and fanny kind of stuff. They also learn basic hand stripping.
nice.
Just mostly they learn
Like
carding
a lot
with
of
a little bit of
carding.
stripping.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, but like they learn more as they progress through the programs. So
right.
it's just that little taste of it. Um, I think
Helpful for pulling out spay coat even on baths.
yep. That's why I put it into that curriculum, because I
Yeah,
think it's important for us, for even our bathers, to understand how to card out a dog that is needing it.
right,
It's better for the dog's skin, So like if if a bather isn't doing that, and this dog keeps coming in and getting done by the bather, it's
right.
just never going to get done. So I want them to at least get a little bit of learning about that. Like at bathing, we just do like I teach them how to like brush them out properly and stuff
Yeah,
like that, but
yeah,
then I
yeah.
get into the carding in the
It's just
groomer
like that
assistant.
extra little touch. Like
Yeah,
it's gonna set them apart from a
yeah.
bather.
They also get a nutrition. They do a nutrition class in this one.
Ooh, yes.
Um,
I
they
need to sit in on
do
that.
the animal esthetician the
Oh, that's
second part.
right.
So
Yes.
there's 4 parts that I have that are spread out throughout the program.
Hmm, hmm.
So they get the second part for that one. Um, they have a class with you.
They do indeed. My graphics design concepts.
I think that one's my favorite one.
It's my favorite one too.
Yeah. That's the one
Because
that
we're
like
not,
you go
okay.
more into like color theory and
Yes, it's
yeah.
color theory and different color schemes and harmonies, and then it's graphic design concepts, including contrast and like so many different things. We kind of analyze advertisements, and my whole thing is like you'll never look at an advertisement the same after
Yes.
this class. Fonts too, like typography.
Yeah.
No,
No, that one's
it's the most fun one for me too.
it's one of my favorites. Because I really like the design stuff. So
Yeah, yeah,
um
yeah.
and then what is the other thing?
Oh, we have beating back burnout, which is
Beating back burnout with
quite
Melissa
nice
Jepson.
with Melissa,
Melissa
Melissa,
Jepson.
Melissa. Um, let's see. Let's see. You know what? You know what? Let's keep talking. I know we have a Chris Anthony class as
Yes,
well.
there's she does her everything scissors,
Everything
and
shears.
or that's yeah, everything shears. And there's
I'm
another
looking. I'm
one.
literally in the Canva doc. Or right or yeah,
Is it
right
the
now.
groomer self-care?
Ooh, let's see. Okay, so seedling. Here we go, you guys. Graphic design, health and nutrition. There's an in-person scissor fitting session by yours truly.
Yes, I do that.
Yes, yes. Meditation and groomer self-care and wellness with Chris. Absolutely. So set us up on a path to success to take care of our bodies so that we can last longer in the profession. Very good. And then, of course, the burnout. And yeah. Oh, and
Yeah.
clean face and clean feet are also learned in this course as well.
Yes, clean face and clean feet. I also do a lesson on tools and maintenance and
Nice.
cleaning.
Yep.
Um
Start building those habits young.
yeah.
And I mean young in the industry, you know.
Yeah. And like I have all of the different, you know, the Sani is a lesson where I
Hmm.
actually do
Hmm.
like a slideshow and like explain like why we do it, and
Yeah.
you know, there I have different type like versions of a Sani that I would do depending on the dog. So I have it like pictures that are all like marked out with that, and I've been really excited about the changes that we're making. So
Nice. Yes. Excited to
um
see them.
yeah.
So cool. So that's your holiday plan right now.
Yep. And then I have my Sprout program in January. So that's for groomer to
Woo-hoo.
become entry-level groomers.
And if you guys are curious, that's a whole thing. That's a 6-week course. That is the biggest boy out of
Yeah.
all the courses. And yeah, no, it goes really in depth and is going to get people on the level of being able to do basic haircuts.
Yeah.
So,
And then, you know, everybody learns how to communicate with clients and
hmm. Hmm.
you know, cleaning and maintenance and, you know, all of the things so that it's easy for someone. I'm trying to make it so it's easy for them to transition into a grooming
A salon.
position.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I know that was one thing every time I went to a new place, it was a whole fucking shit show to figure out
Hmm.
what the fuck was
Hmm.
going on. Like, even if you know, like, even nowadays it would be stressful, but at least now I know the questions to ask, you
Right.
know? But, like,
Right.
you know, do you do, you know, all the, you know, what length do you do for paw pads and sannies? And,
Right.
like, you know,
Right.
like,
Try to, yeah.
do you pluck ears? Do you do anal glands? Like all of those
Yeah.
questions. And like it was hard to transition without knowing those questions and what to ask and fully knowing what I was doing. So I'm
Like
trying to
literally
make
going
sure
to these salon. Oh, go ahead. Sorry. Whoa. My bad.
so and I'm just like, but I want them to be able to um easily transition into
Right.
a position, even though they'll be slow, as new groomers are. I want them to have that
The
ability
tools.
where
Yeah.
you could work slower but you could still do the job, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
where I feel like a lot of times people like they come out of school and they can't fully do the job because they've never done it all before, and then
Right.
they're also still trying to learn how to groom, you
Right.
know.
Exactly.
So um yeah, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just saying, like, so being in different salons, I feel like I'm asking basic questions. Like, y'all do 40s on pop hats, right? Like, I'm like, I can do that, right?
Yeah. No, it's a whole thing. Like, you have
Like,
to
what are you
remember
guys
to ask
doing
all
on
the
clean
questions because
faces?
there's no like standard.
Right.
Um,
Right.
and you know, the way I do it is each of my students will have a binder. So like I'm gonna have a page that shows the different types of sanitaries, like,
Nice.
and explains how to do them.
Yeah.
And
Because you would not do the same on a
they
Maltese
get to
shave
keep
down
these
as you would on a
binders.
golden.
So when they
Oh, there
go
you
to
go.
a school, they can go through it with their, or go to a shop or a mobile or whatever. They
Yeah.
could go through it and be like, you know, these are the
This is what
sanitaries
I
that
was
I
taught.
learned. And yeah. So I want them to be like prepared
Right.
for being able to go into a job. So
Absolutely. Give them the tools to succeed.
yes. Sorry, I took over
No, 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 you're fine. That's how I wanted it to go anyways, because
there.
now I'm going to take over.
I've been getting
Um,
really good at talking about myself for some reason.
Good. But no, so what am I doing? So I'm working here in Florida through Christmas, and then I have like a crazy whirlwind of like probably it probably end up being about 6 weeks um between grooming when I stopped grooming and then the Pasadena Groom Expo West. which I can now say because the schedule is out, I am speaking at Pasadena. So Barkley has slotted me into the 11 a.m. to noon class on Sunday. I am up against some big names. I'm up against Jay Zecco or Sue Zecco and Jay Scruggs. Good Lord, I'm tired. Maybe that's what it is. I'm up against Kelsey Ann, like who we have interviewed here on this very show. Um, I actually can't remember who else there is now. Oh, I think Nathan Austin. I don't know. Either way, the point being is I'm like, well, I'll be happy to get a couple people, but it's okay. You know, it's fine. I'm
Yeah.
gonna looks like I'm gonna do some work with Easy Groom. I'll be at Easy Groom's booth for a little bit. I'll be at All for Groomers booth for a little bit. Possibly the California Association of Professional Pet Groomers booth for a little bit. I'm gonna be like bouncing booths here.
Nice.
Just gonna try to work the whole thing. Um, but anyways, the CPR classes, I'm traveling all over Florida. I made one little post in Pro Groomer Network saying, hey, I have the availability for the month of January to kind of travel anywhere in Florida to use pet CPR classes. Who wants to get certified? And I now have so many classes scheduled and they're actually routed pretty decently. Um,
Nice.
yeah, so I'm kind of like going down the West Coast and dip. We have like 8 day break between classes right now. So we're going to be able to, and like it's Fort Myers. So we're going to be able to go all the way down to the Keys and actually probably have too much time. We'll probably get bored, but either way, have all the time we want for the Keys, Everglades, like all that stuff, which is
Yeah.
what the goal was. And then coming back up the East Coast and doing some classes up there, then we're going up to Georgia, north of Atlanta, Tennessee. Nobody else is officially scheduled, but I have people in Alabama that are interested and people in Texas and then people over by Pasadena. And because we're going to come down and go to New Orleans, we're going to hit New Orleans on this trip.
Nice.
Um, hopefully see the Grand Canyon, but we also have time to do that after Pasadena as well. Because I also do want to stop into Yuma, Arizona and see Melissa, my certifier, the lady who certified me to groom cats. So
Nice.
got a new cat hotel, so I'm excited to see that.
Yeah. I'm excited to see pictures.
Yes. Oh yeah, no, I told her I was like, I'm gonna take pictures. We're taking selfies. I am tagging you. I'm shouting it to the world. So I think it's really cool to have a little cat hotel.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, and I was going to see. I mean, I'm undecided. I was gonna work for a shop in San Francisco for a little bit, and then go up to Washington and work again up until like the Tacoma show. Um, but now I'm like, maybe if I just put out a little blurb and say like, hey, I'll do Nevada, Utah, Oregon, California, Washington, like,
Yeah.
and
You
then just
should.
maybe set up a whole bunch of classes. And then I mean, I'm going to groom when I'm back in Wisconsin but it also means I most likely don't have to do the 40 to 50 hours a week.
Yeah.
Maybe it depends. It depends because then I could possibly travel around like Wisconsin and Illinois and do classes kind of on my breaks. But either way, we'll
Yeah.
see. It's a long ways away. Um, I mean, it is, but it isn't. But that's kind of my dealio. I'm trying to develop a following on TikTok so I can do live grooming, and
Yeah.
that's a whole other bear. Um, but yeah, I'm doing the TikToks. Yay.
I'm eventually
Uh,
gonna manage to get my grooming TikTok going,
yes,
like my
yes,
business one. It won't be really a whole lot of grooming. It'll be a lot of
right.
teaching.
Yeah, yeah. But so overall, this has been a nice little check-in, and that's the biggest thing I'm going to leave you guys with today. Check in with your fellow groomers. This is a hard time in many
Yes.
regards, as we've talked about.
Check
So
in
just
with
check in with
everyone.
your friends,
Anyone you care about,
check in.
check
It can
in.
be as simple as like sometimes, and I'm sorry if you're listening and you realize you've been a recipient of one of these. I will literally make like a little 2-second text that's like, hey, thinking about you, hope everything's well. That's literally like what I say. Maybe hey there. And like a
Yeah.
couple hearts or something. And I will copy paste that shit and send that to 20 different people. because the feeling is there, the intention is there, and I cannot sit down and like craft a unique message. So I'm just like, hey, I'm thinking about you. I hope you're good. I'm sending good vibes your way.
Yeah.
And it usually sparks a conversation. And then I feel a little better because then I'm like, okay. And I try to do that every couple of months. So I like am keeping a little ping with people because everyone who knows me like knows I am not fabulous at communication or at least
Yeah.
like regular communication. And everyone who sticks around doesn't care or they understand or they deal with the same thing.
Yeah.
Or maybe my communication when it is there is just so fabulous that it's worth the wait.
I mean, yeah. We stay in pretty constant contact, so
That's true. But then again, we're literally in business twice over.
yeah, that's true. So
So like we kind of have to, but also too, I mean, you're on this like level. You're like up here.
yeah. But
Yeah.
like, yeah, I kind of do the same thing. I have a list of friends that I want to make sure
Yeah.
that I'm still communicating with. Um, and I have alarms on my phone that go off once a
Aw,
month to say, hey,
text your
contact,
friends.
text your friends.
Yeah.
And so I go through my list, and sometimes it's copy paste, like, hey, just thinking of you,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Sometimes I'll actually like have a conversation with them. Um, but just I like to make sure that they know that I'm thinking of them.
Because
So
like if I get just a generic ass text that is like, hey, thought of you today, smiley face, you better believe my tail's wagging.
mm-hmm.
Like that one little thing. So I'm like, if only that just happens for like a fraction of the people, or if they even get a fraction of the reaction, I've made my goal.
Yeah.
Which is just like make them feel good for a second and be like I value this connection. And also because like I said, like everyone who I talk to, like they're pretty aware and they're understanding. They're like, look, we're all adults here. We're all have crazy lives. Like I
Yeah.
get it. And these people, when I hang out with them, I've got a really close friend in Virginia that I hadn't seen for I don't know 5 or 6 years. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
not that. That's a little excessive. It was before COVID, maybe 2019. Okay, so like 4 years. Um, but either way, hadn't seen her in that long and randomly started texting her like a month before we went up and was just like, hey, can we just like hang out? And we were able to stay for like 3 nights, 2 or 3 nights while we were there. They made us food all the time and we just like fell into it as if no time had passed. And
Yeah.
those are my kind of people because that's how I'll be as well. I'll just like fall into it like it wasn't just 2 years since I even spoke to you last.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't have friendship decay.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Um, uh, my friend Nick, he,
Yeah.
you know him, like
Yes.
he did a lot of like going on through hikes. He did the
Right.
PCP and the Appalachia, the
Appalachia. Throw in
Appalachia Trail.
Appalachia. Thank you,
Um,
Marky.
and he will like sometimes be gone for like I won't hear from him for like a year.
Yeah.
Because he's really bad at communicating. Like I'll send him like, hey, just thinking of you messages, like I do to everybody. But then
Yeah.
like he's one of those people like me who will see it and then like, I'll text them back later and then doesn't. So I know he sees them, but he never
Right.
responds for like he'll like not respond for like a year. And then all of a sudden, like we get to see each other and it's like we're best friends. Like
Oh
again.
yeah. I was
Like
witness to this.
so
But no. So
yeah,
that's
like
great.
when
Check in on
when
your people.
when you met him, it had
Hmm.
been like over a year since I had talked to him. Um
And y'all, we literally were like pouncing through this freaking field of grass and plants that were taller than my head, like in the middle of seemingly nowhere,
it was
looking
so
for
fun.
foraging things. Yeah, it was fun for you. I didn't enjoy getting smacked, like touched by all the things. I was very
Yeah.
overstimulated.
And then but then we ended up finding the raspberries close to my house.
Very close, like literally across the street.
Very fun raspberry
And
picking.
then we let them mold in the fridge.
Yeah, because I forgot.
Object permanent.
Yep. They were
Anyways,
good
you
while it
guys,
lasted.
thank you for being with us today. This is a long one, I can tell.
Yeah.
This one's going to be a long one.
Quick thing. So I did an
Yes.
interview with Doug Bletcher from Autism Stories. It's a podcast where he like does little things. It'll be coming out next Monday, so I think this will be out first.
Yes, this is going to be out on Black Friday because I think that's perfectly fitting.
So it's coming out on Monday if everybody wants to listen to it. And we're going to have him on at some point. But there was a reason I was telling you about this. Shit.
Oh no.
Oh, he asked me about, and one of the questions was like, you know, what can we expect from your podcast? And my answer was, you know what my answer was?
Oh no.
Chaos.
Yeah, unhinged chaos. Be prepared for squirreling moments. But then again, if he does a podcast entirely about autism, I feel like he's well equipped.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very nice. Very, very nice. But yeah, I'm just like chaos. So I will be excited to hear that episode. And we're gonna have him on eventually.
Yes.
We have it scheduled. What the fuck is going on there?
I just took my hair down.
Whoa.
Like it was just up like this all day long.
You look like Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, that's even better.
You no longer look like Jim Carrey.
Hey, babe. How do I look? He said like a mop. I feel like I'm very close to having that like, he was a skater boy. She's sexy a little boy. Like with my calorie,
top of the head though. It's too much volume.
Like my calorie necklace and my Hollister shirt.
Yeah.
Hey girl.
You're close. You're getting there. You need a straightener, get it really nice and straight.
Yes. We're a little back. I don't know what's that. Okay, anyways, we're gonna go. Yeah. Bye.
Bye. Oh.